I just thought of something. On my last video, I was talking about how the words that we use are pretty much pointless. And where do they come from? And what are they really for? Who created these words? I have all these questions about words. And I was studying etymology. I bought all these etymology books, and I I knew why. But I didn't know I knew the gist of why I wanted to know about words. It was basically the same reason what I'm saying right now. Basically because I questioned, what are these words? And even though we have different languages, the words pretty much mean the same thing when you translate them, if you know what I mean. So where did the standard words come from? And people could tell me the first language, but or the first, I don't even know, because history is so tampered with that, it's very hard to believe what's in history books and what's written about history. So I don't really know. I can't say personally that I really know what the first language was, but I'm not really questioning the words themselves. I'm not questioning why do we use words. I'm more so questioning why can't we just not use words at all? Basically, why do we need to use words at all? But it's a rhetorical question, so it's like, I'm not really asking it. I'm just saying, and I'm being very literal because this is also part of autism. I have to say things literally and technically so you can get what I'm saying. But this is also just who I am. I just forgot what I was saying. See, I have another thing that I'm thinking about right now. And don't mind me, I'm jumping all over the place, but that's another part of this, is knowing that somebody has autism, which, you should research that first before assuming what it is. Things like this, where my mind is gonna jump into a different topic for a moment, doesn't, to me, it should be understood by the viewers. If I have autism, I'm talking about Asperger's or anything that has to do with autism, shouldn't that be understood coming from someone that has it? So that's one thing I want to say. Like, I'm sorry, I know for some people it is hard to switch from thing to thing. It's just something will pop into my head and I have to say it, but then I can switch right back. And you don't even have to listen to this if you don't want to. This little part right here, it's a video, so you can just put it to wherever you want to. So it's not like you're bound to listen to every little thing I'm saying. And yes, I understand all the technicalities of everything, but if we're going to go into all that, then I might as well not make a video at all, because I'm just always going to inevitably make a mistake, and I have things to say, okay? So if they come out, they come out. I'm not going to sit here and try to suppress or control what I'm saying when it naturally is just coming out and flowing. And I'm saying this to certain people, but I'm just saying this in general to everybody. Again, like I've said in a previous video, it doesn't have to be a good or a bad thing. We don't have to label it. We just have to say, this is what it is. Okay, now what are you going to do about it? There's nothing really to do about it. It's just respect what it is. And I will respect you and who you are and what your view of all these topics are as well. I understand. I value people's opinions. I value people's views, but not as much as mine. And I feel that that's also something people with autism feel. Because it's like, that's what it is. It's all about the self, and it's not a bad thing. But this is what, in my view, what it is. It's about the self, and that's a good thing. To me, I naturally just keep working on myself. So, just wanted to say all that. So now I can go back to what I was saying about the words. See, now I'm like clear-headed, and I just need to get all that stuff out. That was one of my little branches. And now I can get back to what I was talking about before. Okay, this makes total sense to me, and I would hope and think that it would make sense to a lot of other people with autism. Okay. I'm like, I just had a duh moment before I made this video. I was like, obviously, I don't want to use words. Why? Because I asked myself, what do people with severe autism do? They don't speak. I mean, most, I can't say all because I'm not even familiar with the different levels, but see, people aren't on levels. That's the thing. People are people, or human beings are human beings. So I don't know if there's certain categories, okay, where, there's some people might say there's some severe autistic people that can speak, some words. Okay, I'm not trying to be technical, but I'm trying to say in general, I'm talking about the opposite side of the spectrum, which I love. I really love these people. And I feel what they don't have to say anything. I just feel it. There's no way to explain it, again, with words, because you just feel it. And that's the autistic language. And it's just so beautiful. And it just, it just came to me. So I was like, I have to make a video or recording something. I got to get this out. Because it's just, it's beautiful. That's why these people don't want, it's not that they don't want to speak, they can't speak. I see it as they don't want to speak, they can't speak, they wouldn't speak if they could speak, they wouldn't. So, what does that tell you? They don't need words to communicate. Yes, it's very hard to communicate when this whole world uses words to communicate, and sounds, and certain sounds that we all use. It's like you don't have your own language. And that's the thing with autism. See, every autistic person is different, has their own language. That is the beauty in this. Everybody has their own words. It's not real words, but expressions, sounds, tapping. The stimming is part of the communication, and we don't see it. Not we, but people in general, in my view, through my Aspie eyes, this is what I see. And I'm not trying to make it all about autism either. That's the other thing I was thinking about my videos. I'm not trying to make it all technically, okay, this is just for autistic people. No. This is for everybody. It's something that everybody, I believe, this is another thing that popped in my head, that there's probably a lot more people with Asperger's, technically Asperger's, meaning high functioning autistic people in the world that we don't know about. They don't even know. We don't know, and they don't know that they have it. And this is what happened to me for all my life up until I was 20, I want to say, what was it? A year ago, so 26, around 26, so 26 years, I didn't know I had high functioning autism. Now I know what it is. And people would call me slow. So, like, I was like, not, okay, I'm not laughing about it. Like, okay, I understand there's different disabilities, and people have different things that they cannot, they don't have abilities that other people do. But see, to me, okay, the reason I'm laughing is because these people that said this to me, it's so ridiculous, because they would try to find anything to upset me, because that's part of, the antagonizing part of the, abuse and bullying that people with autism usually go through. Not every person with autism goes through it, but a lot. I've seen a lot of people talk about this. So, but let me just say that made me so much stronger, because now I see who they are. I see who people are. Once they do something messed up, now I'm seeing the pattern of certain people, and their little tricky tactics. Usually I get the very covert people that pretend and smile in your face, and then, they're talking about you behind your back, and then they're plotting on you to try to, I don't even know what, but that's very weird to me, very strange. When I was younger, I felt like very confused, more so than hurt. And I know that sounds very strange, but I was very hurt. Let's just say I was very hurt. But I was more hurt because I was confused as to why people would do this. Why? That's all I would say is why. But why? Why do they do this? Whoever I would talk to that had, a sane mind, I would usually talk to my parents too and ask them, why are these kids like this? They would say, well, Mary, you're mature. Well, no. I felt like that was just something that was normal, as, being a human being, not to hurt other people purposely and see the reaction, because that's all that people would do to me. Is I was like a toy or like a doll, and like I was like their entertainment. They would mess with me and see how I would react, and it would, most of the time it would be very emotional, and it would upset me, of course. And one time I had like a whole class gang up on me. There wasn't that many people in the class, but most of them actually, if you want to be technical, most of them, I'd say 90% of them were attacking me. And it was just taunting and antagonizing and taking my books, taking my things. And yes, this is something that pops up in my brain when thinking about memories, because that's very traumatizing to a kid, especially when I was semi-new. I wasn't new in the school, but I came at a certain time when all the kids pretty much knew each other already, and then I came in, they're like, oh, who's this girl? And that happened a lot to me. I went from school to school, and everybody had to get used to me, and most people did like me, but I wasn't concerned really with people liking me. I just, if I had a friend or two, that was cool, and I was happy with that. But it's strange because I was it looked like I was very outgoing, but it was only because people were talking to me. So the more people would talk to me, I'd be like, okay, and I'd talk to them too. But after a while, it was weird because it was like I couldn't keep up the relationships because they knew there was something different about me. Like, oh, okay, this girl is she's not like everybody else. She's a little strange. She's a little weird, which I knew, but they thought I was, also a good friend. I know that. I know people thought that I was a good friend, that I was somebody that they could count on. But then there was also people that tried to sabotage stuff. And I'm not going to get into the details, but I feel like that's enough already to say. Because really, I don't feel connected to any of that. I feel stronger because now I see people for who they are. Like I said, I don't get fooled by their mask, by people's image, no matter how much you try to front or put on a show. I usually can see right through it. So, that's the funny thing. Because I think the most comedic thing for a person with autism is that they know what's going on and the person's trying to fool them right in front of their face. And they're like, are you kidding me? I know what's going on. So, yeah, that's another thing. We already know. We already know what's going on, and I don't even need to explain that. Meaning, just because we can't communicate very well with you doesn't mean we can't process. I mean, that we do have processing problems, or issues, if you want to call them that. But other than that, we know. I mean, and I'm not speaking for everybody, but because like I said, every person with autism is different. There's no way I could speak for everybody. I'm only speaking for myself. That's why I'm making videos of me, myself, and I. So, and also just to say, this is pretty much just my self-expression. It's not for judging. It's not, I mean, you can judge it. That's fine in your own mind, in your own dwelling and all that. That's fine. But I personally, I'm just putting it out there and saying this is what it is. This is what it's for. I'm just expressing myself. I'm not trying to say this is the right or wrong way. This is not good or bad. This is just what it is. This is what I feel. This is what I see, what I know. And the other thing is, if you think it's wrong, that's fine. If you want to say this is what I think about it, but to tell me that I'm wrong, I'm not, I'm a stubborn person when it comes to that, honestly. I'm not going to just take it if it is what it is, if it's the truth and I see it for what it is, then I will take it. But I don't necessarily need advice. I don't need somebody telling me, here's what you should do, or this is what's going on with you, because it's nobody has any idea. Even the people that are closest to me, they have no idea what's going on in my head. And they tell me that too. People that love me the most. I mean, they know me. They know who I am, truly. But they couldn't tell you what goes through my head. They couldn't tell you because I guess I'm just unpredictable. And I like it that way. And I like it, I like to find things out for myself. So if you want to put something out there, that's great. I am all for reading, looking at things, giving people chances, to see, okay, is this person saying, if this person gives me something, share something with me, and I'll decide for myself, basically, if it's true or not. So I'm not so much, like, if I do feel it's true, then I will talk to you about it. But if I don't find it true, or it's not really relevant to what I'm saying, then it's very hard for me to respond to stuff like that, because then it takes so much energy. It takes a lot out of me. And I can't do that, because another thing with people with autism, they have to contain, I don't know, this is the way I see it, contain as much energy as you can for yourself, because everybody seems to, not everyone, but this is how it feels, that everyone's trying to drain your energy. Not purposely, like in an evil way. Some people might be, but it's more like you're overwhelmed in your own self, in your own being, in your own mind. What I'm saying is, this is the way it feels. It's very overwhelming. So it's not, I'm making it this way, or, here's what you need to do. You just need to blah, 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 A, B, and C. I can't do that, because this, like I said before, this is just what's coming out. There's just a whole bunch of stuff just coming out. And this is from my heart. So, everything I say is from the heart. Everything I say, I mean. And yes, later on in time, sometimes I will change my mind about things, but usually I will voice that. I will say it. I'll tell people, this is what I've changed my mind about. And if I didn't, I'd appreciate if people ask me as well. But this was supposed to be a video about words, and now I'm saying all these words to describe all this stuff that was not related to the topic, but that's okay. I feel I need to do a video on pausing in between words and sentences, because the thoughts are just so much. The thoughts, that doesn't even make sense. The thoughts are so much. There's so many thoughts. And they're like I said in my communication video, it's not good or bad. It could be good or bad, but it's not necessarily good or bad. It's like just a whole bunch of stuff flying around. And you just catch one thing, you say it, and then there might be another thing, and you catch it and you say it, and people are like, what is she talking about? She's just all over the place. But I feel that people with autism will just know what I'm saying for some reason. No words, hint, hint. There's just no words, and it's beautiful, and I'm like celebrating it right now in my own mind. I'm just so happy that there doesn't need to be anything related to words. There's nothing to teach, there's nothing to understand, because you will just understand and know for yourself. It's not a matter of someone else telling you, but I can say what I'm going to say about myself and what I've learned. But for me to focus on everybody else and say, here, I'm going to teach this to you, and, well, I feel like I'm not purposely trying to teach anybody. This is literally what I feel. So why is there a concern about teaching when what I say about myself will probably, I'm not trying, like I said, to teach anybody, but it might, I hope it would help other people. I don't know. I really don't even know, because this is just, like I said, me. Honestly, I feel like I'm rambling, but then again, I know I'm not. Because I'm really saying stuff. I'm really saying what I mean. But what I really mean is I feel I look like I'm rambling to others, but I know I'm not. You know? I'm really speaking. I'm really saying something. I have, all this spilling out, and it's not rambling. But see, again, even this, like me thinking about it, I'm not saying I feel bad about it. I'm just saying it hurts because it feels like other people look at me like I'm just rambling, but I'm not. You know? So I'm not sitting here like, oh, nobody's... Yeah, it hurts because no one's really truly listening to me. That's what it feels like. But, and I'm not saying you guys, because, well, I don't even know who you guys are. But in general, this is all about generality, even if I don't even know if that's the right way to say it. But yeah, I just don't like when people assume all this is just me. Just dazing, just in a daze or in another world. In a sense I am, but I'm truly thinking about what I'm going to say. I'm thinking about everything I just said. I'm processing, it's like integrating, and I don't know how to explain it, but that's how it is in my brain. Like, there's all these things going on in my brain when I'm pausing, and I'm truly engaged in what I'm saying, and I'm truly it just is what it is. Like, what I'm saying is what it actually is. It's not like, people that talk just because they like to hear themselves talk, or people that just talk out of their ass. I'm not doing that. And when someone's truly speaking and you assume that they're not, and they're just saying stuff, it's very unlikely that that person's going to trust you with talking about real stuff. Even though that person might open up to you again about real stuff, which is pretty much everything that that person talks about, because if you're real, you're real. There's no, oh, let's be fake for a second and then be real. No, it doesn't work. You cannot have real and fake together in one thing. I don't know how to explain that, but you get it. Real and fake just don't go together. They don't mix. It's oil and water. We already know that. So, the only thing that I want is just for people to be honest, true, genuine, real, whatever you want to call it, whatever word you choose to describe that thing. Yeah, that's what I want. And real love, not romantic love, but love from people. Not saying, hey, give me love because I want it. It's just, I'm saying if you're going to if you're going to come from any angle, please come from the angle of love. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, if you're going to come from anywhere, come from love, come from your heart. Because I'm just telling you, this is the truth. This has already been in action. Like, this has already been the way it's been with me this whole time, if you know what I'm saying. I don't talk to bullshit. I can't. It's not me saying, I'm not going to talk to you if you do this. I'm not saying it in that tone. I'm saying it like I just can't. I physically, mentally, and emotionally cannot deal with bullshit. It just doesn't work in my realm, it doesn't vibe with me. I'm not on the same vibrational level. Oh, there's no level, but I'm not vibrating at the same speed, I guess. So it's like, it's painful for me. So if you're gonna come to me with bullshit, it's like I just won't talk. I can't respond to it. I can't say anything to it. And to me, now I'm thinking about it, it's not like people would care. If they're gonna spew bullshit at me, then why would they care what I think and say? And anyways, so yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it just goes hand in hand, and it's wonderful. So if you're gonna, throw all this shit at me, well, I'm not gonna take it. I'm just gonna, deflect it away, and you're just gonna have to realize that is your stuff, your shit. And and what I mean by bullshit is, like I was saying in my last video about superficial stuff and fake and, people not being real. This is, hello, it's all connected. So it's all connected. And that's like another reason why I didn't want to just make this about autism. Even though I'm coming from a point of view of autism, if that made sense, it's like, okay, I am autistic, but at the same time, we all have a voice. We are all human beings. I'm talking about the humans here. I don't know what other creatures are out there. I really don't know. And I kind of mean that literally, because it's like, what happened to... there's a lot of humans that don't act human. So that's why it's very hard for me to call them humans. And it's like, how can you get mad at that? Again, how can you get mad at the truth? You can't. It's not a real question. You can't. And if you are mad at the truth, there's nothing else that will save you. The truth will set you free. Yes, it's cliche, but it's true. Actually, when you see the truth, you are free. So when you keep seeing the truth, you're free. Every time. It frees you of the lie that you were chained by. It rhymes. So, because we all know these lies do not help. And I'm talking about any lie, of course. This is just common sense, of course. But we don't need any lies. We don't need any lies at all, because if it's out in the open, there's no way you can lie. If everything's out in the open anyway, So no, there is no lying. There's no fibbing. There's no little lies here and there. No. Because once you say one, it's like you can excuse other ones too. But no. So you don't do it at all. And not even one would be okay. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's all a matter of your perception. The way you see things. If you don't see it for what it is and you look at it with a veil over it, well, you're not gonna get very far in the actual reality, in actual real life. You're not gonna get anywhere. So you need to just realize that things are not just gonna be out there. There's a lot of lies, a lot of deception going on, and I'm not paranoid. It's just I'm seeing it. I'm just seeing it for what it is. So, it's my cat. So I guess that's all I gotta say. You just see it for what it is, and stop trying to find reasons and all these excuses and other little detailed little things that don't matter to try to make something true when you know it's not true. Just see it for what it is. Like, don't add all these little things to it, because when you add or take away, even though I don't agree with everything in the Bible, it is true though, when you add or take away from anything, which the Bible, I have to say, was tampered with. We all should know this. Anyways, that's a whole different topic, but see where my mind goes. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. So thank you. Thanks for listening.